Welcome to 3 Expert Tips with Annette Talee, where top experts in the real estate world give you tips and tricks to grow your business. Here's your host, Annette Talee.
Jay is going to give us 3 expert tips on how to invest while still working at your W-2 job.
Yeah. So you just want 3 because there's a ton of them.
Give me your best ones and then maybe a bonus.
All right. So tip number 1, if you're married or if you have a significant other, tip number 1 is you got to get your spouse on board. That's it. And that is listed as number 1 for a reason, right? Because and I'll say this, the president of your fan club is going to be an integral part of making all this work. The last thing you need in your relationship is for some sort of investing money. You know, the divorce lawyers or whoever has done the study, money is usually the number 1 leading for divorce. If they're not on your side, your number 1 job to get started in real estate investing is to convince your other half. That's it.
Yeah, and not only money, but time, because you have to invest time.
Yep. Which leads to number 2, right? Is be ready to alter your lifestyle, right? Less TVs, less nights out, earlier bedtimes, earlier alarms. I'm a big fan of getting up early before the rest of the house wakes up, because that means I've got about 2 hours or so before I have to get focused on the W-2. So I wake up and do something I'm extremely passionate about, and I have that me time, so to speak, in the morning. And then I'm off to my W-2, which I'm now, my mindset is, all right, I just spent 2 hours building my real estate empire. Let me go help these folks sell some stuff, right?
And you are lucky your kids sleep in, because as soon as I wake up early, my kids wake up. It's just like, I've tried 5 a.m., 6 a.m. Well, maybe 5 a.m. they sleep in, but 6 a.m. they are awake.
We are very fortunate. They're not of school age yet. And but we're gonna tackle that here pretty soon, this coming year actually. And so they go to bed kind of late, so there is a little bit of that too. So
right.
yeah.
All right, what's the third tip?
Let me think. Let me. So the third tip, outsource. Right, is don't think you have to go into this and you're going to be a property manager. Just make sure when you write up your criteria for a deal that you have a property manager expense in there. And as you're focused on being, present for your family and still focused on your W-2, you don't need to worry about all the other stuff, right? You're looking to buy a physical asset that can just send you that mailbox money every month. Right. And to be able to do that, you need to outsource. And this comes back to something I said earlier, is the moment we had that first property ready to rent, it rented. Now, where we didn't, and this is, so I'm making this tip coming from experience, is because when we bought that house, our very first house, our first kid was 3 weeks old. And we thought, all right, we're gonna be able to do all this stuff ourselves, blah blah blah, and then we didn't know what we didn't know. Right? You have your first kid, you think, it's no big deal. No, not a lot of people could explain to us what was going to happen.
Nobody told you, like, are you crazy? What are you doing? You are having a child.
Yeah. So he came in October, right? And the plan was to spend nights and weekends over there. And I don't know if you're seeing this, but he's flicking the light on and off right now outside the office.
I am.
So he came in October, and then the house wasn't ready until February.
Oh,
so
wow.
After we did all this and we saw how easy it was to rent, I went back and did the calculations, right? And we missed out on essentially 4 to 5 months of rent. And so around $2,400. And I went back and looked at some of the contractor quotes that we received. It was around $2,400 a month. It was a little less actually. So we actually cut ourselves out of some income because of.
And then you did the work, so you spend your time on it.
Yes, our time. And, and it wasn't in the best of neighborhoods. Now, I said it was an up and coming neighborhood. I was, quite frankly, I was scared to go over there because right across the street, it was a drug house. And fast forward when we sold it, right, that drug house had been plowed down and somebody built a beautiful 3-bedroom, 2-bath home on there that sold for around 150. I mean, it was just, so it was up and coming, and it kind of progressed, right? And then the bonus tip I have for you is the bonus tip is get comfortable with being uncomfortable, right? And that's what we focus on the mastermind. Is I'm a firm believer that growth happens outside your comfort zone, and most people who are in their W-2 job, who are focused on this and want to start getting into real estate investing, most of them don't find that courage to take the action that we're talking about because they already are uncomfortable, right? And you need to, if you want to really focus on this and start building some let's forget about legacy wealth for a minute. Let's just talk about some additional streams of income, right? You're going to get uncomfortable, and you need to get comfortable with that feeling. I actually, I have now trained myself that when I know that feeling is coming, there's something I need to do right then. And that's pretty fun to see. It's also kind of scary, but it's pretty fun to see.
Yeah. I think somebody told me, like, don't you get scared? I'm like, yes, all the time. Like, it's not fun to do new things that you don't know what's going to happen, or put yourself out there. We were talking about this. You asked me, are you going to do a podcast? And I was like, no, like, there's no way I'm going to do that. Like, I'm not, I don't want to put the time. I don't want to do it. Like, I don't want to be in front of a camera. And now 1 year.
Now look at you. Yeah. You're hosting mastermind calls. You're doing Facebook Lives. You're doing all this stuff. You're growing. It's awesome. It really has been incredible to see, honestly.
And, I highly recommend your mastermind. It just keeps me accountable and keeps me motivated. Like, sometimes I get to the call and I'm like, guys, I am so happy I'm here today. I'm so happy the call is today, because I was starting to feel going down, like, my energy. And then after the call, it's like, I'm again ready to go.
Yeah. Yeah. And we talk about this all the time because one of the calls is on Tuesday nights, and I love that call, but I hate it too because we end up ending
super pumped, like, let's go do it.
well, we end up ending it super pumped, but it's like 10, 11 o'clock at night. It's already past my bedtime, and I'm like, what? How do we change this? But it's all good. It's all good.
We love it.
Yeah.
It's been a pleasure to have you on the call today and on my show. Thank you so much, Jay. I really look up to you, and I follow you. Everything you do, I'm like, oh, what did Jay? How did he? Look at what he did.
That's I'm blushing. I don't know if you can see that. That's awesome. I appreciate that.
Anyways, thank you so much before I forget, where can people find you? What's your website? What's your mastermind? Tell us all about it.
Yeah, so you can find all that at w2capitalist.com. There's link to the mastermind information. There's link to the community, which is essentially right now is a Facebook group where, the community's grown. I think we're close to 7,000 members in it. Here's something I'm starting to do this year. You talk about getting uncomfortable. I'm giving out my number, right? So if anybody has questions, the best thing to do is text. But text me. You can text me at 850-610-0966.
That's awesome. I'm going to be calling you now.
Yeah. You have my number anyway.
I already have your number. I screen my calls, so I wouldn't give my number away, because if I don't know the number, I don't respond. I wait for the message.
Yeah. Yeah. I understand. That's the same with me too. So if you get that, you might want to turn around and call again, right? Or text again. So.
Correct. Thank you so much, Jay. It's been a pleasure.
Thank you, Annette. I've enjoyed it.
This was 3 Expert Tips with Annette Talley, brought to you by Talley Investments. We hope that you enjoyed this episode. Our goal is to provide amazing value to your real estate journey. Connect online at www.talleyinvestments.com, where you can find this episode and more. Did you like this episode? Subscribe, like, and share.